This video is going to help you on the Module 8 assignment number 3 programming challenge. This program challenge asks you to create a Java FX application that can calculate tape, tax, and total for a meal in a restaurant. So record the example we worked in this module. In the chapter file, we download the chapter file here, and from that source code we have a similar application. Let me show you which is this one, the kilometer converter, right? So we have that similar code, and we can, they ask us to create another one, calculate tape and text and total. This is very similar. So if I were you, I'm going to go to my working directory. For instance, I choose every directory. In my case, I like to choose download, because the download is a temporary folder. I can create temporary folder later. I can delete it, right? I can name this folder to be tape, text, and total, right? So then later I'm gonna work inside this folder. So in other words, we don't need NetBeans. We can create a Java file from Notepad++, and we can create the interface, the GUI interface from the scene builder. So in other words, we need to open a scene builder and start new project. And the first thing we need to do is we need to create an anchor pane. You remember that, right? And in this anchor pane, at least based on the question, right? Based on the question, which is here. I'm sorry. You have an understand question, and based on the question, okay, I need a text field to allow people to enter the chart, and I need some label, and also I need a button to trigger the calculation, and I need to display the result. The result includes 3 parts. One is tape, one is text, one is total on this anchor pane. So in other words, I need to start from here. In the control part, I need a label, and I need a label, and this label can be, I want to be display enter chart here, right? And also we need a text field. Do we have a text field here? We believe we have text field, not text area. Text field. We have a text field here, right? Immediate after here, we can indicate this one to be the field, allow people to enter the chart. Then we need a button. Remember that I mentioned a button. This is very easy. We screw up and drag a button here. I can put it in the center. For instance, I put it here, right? Then I need a display window. The display window, I don't necessarily need a window. Label works fine, I think. I can line the label here, and this label can be, first one can be tip, and I can create a second one. The second one can be how to align it. I haven't figured out how to align this one yet, but I can try to align by myself. Then you can try in your case, right? Text, semicolon, make it little readable. The third one is going to be total. Actually, this should allow me to do, no? Total, this should be total, right? Total. Then you need to specify everybody an ID. After you create all these tabs, all these components, you can access them from here, right? This is whatever you already added. You have a one text field, one label, one label, one label, one label, one double, total 4 labels, one button. Then you need to specify the ID. The ID, you click on here. You have 3 categories. One is property, and the ID, FX ID, is on the code label. So don't forget this one. The FX ID is here. It's not the ID in the property. I confused one time, right? The FX ID is here. This ID will allow you to access this control from the code. Like this one, I could give an ID called chart prompt label, right? Whatever name you like, you can put it here, right? And this one I can give it like a chart text. What happened? Chart text field. And this one, this is the most important one. This is the button. I can give you like a calculate button, right? And remember all this name, right? And this label, I can give an ID. I need this ID because later I'm going to display the tape here. This is called output tape. Can I call that? Yeah, I think that you can. And this one called output text. All this word matters, because if you make any mistake, the result will not display on your window, on your pop-up window. This is called output total label. So I have this, and then I can save this one to the directory I just created, which is download 249 text. I give a name called tape text and total. Okay? This is fxml file. So I have this file. Now I have this file, right? You can go to that folder, you take a look. Yeah, I have this file. Now you need to working on the Java code. In order to working on Java code, I can create a Java code from here. You know, I can tape text and but total, and this should be Java file, the empty Java file, right? Java file, and you can open this Java file with Notepad. And remember, like I mentioned, the main application file usually same. The only difference is the XML file. You call different XML file, fxml file. So in other words, I can copy the kilometer converter Java, the main application file, to my tape text and total, right? And make sure all the import is good. And this one should be the name. You have to change to be your name, right? Which is tape text and total. And don't forget, you need to change this fxml. You need to load this fxml file, not that one. Tape text and total. And make sure this main file, this main application file is very easy. It calls start. The start load fxml file, and you need to create a new scene and set title, set scene show. Then your main program, you need to launch argument, whatever. Usually every single main application file same, but you need to load a different fxml file, and the file name class name should be different, right? So I have this one. I need to save it. I save this file. So now I need to working on the controller file. Remember that? The controller. Let's go to the example, which is here. We need this controller. Can we copy this controller? We can. We make it easy, right? We copy this controller to our folder, so I can rename it. Paste it here. I rename this one to B, tape, text, and total. Controller, right? But when you back to a controller, you need to do a lot of modification, because all this import probably okay, because make sure we need a button, we need a label, we need a text field, everything is good. We need to change this one to be the class name, the file name, right? You have to make sure every single word, uppercase, lowercase, is good. Otherwise, you will get a lot of trouble. We need a button, we need a label, but we have to, you know, from here you have to analyze this. The variable has to base on this variable, right? I need a button, but my button name is, my button ID is calculate. But is that calculate button? Yeah. So I need to change one to be my button name, my button ID. The text field, we don't call text field. On the other hand, we call charge text field, right? We call charge text field. And our label, we have 4 labels. The first label is charge prompt label. The first one is charge prompt label. The second one is this guy, the tape label, output tape label, right? So we need to convert this one to be tape label. Then we have more. We have a text label, we have a total label. Remember that? So we need to create all this. If you would like to leave a blank line, that's fine. Label. This is called text label. This is called total label. Right? We create all this label from the scene builder. All this label, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one doesn't matter because this one just a label. We don't modify the value. But these 3, we need to put a new value. After we finish the calculation, we need to put a number here, right? So the button is important. The button, because the button we need to have some event listener. Remember that? After I click the button, do the calculation. So this is something very important. And we save this file. You may have a lot of trouble in the calculation part. We cannot do the kilometer conversion, right? This is everything is, I shouldn't say everything is useless, but we need to do our calculation before we. I don't want waste your time to watch me write all the formula. I can write in the background, and in order to save your time. Right? The calculation is super simple. The calculation. This is you can not convert. This is like a calculation button listener, right? We have this. So the calculation is very simple. We define constant, which is final, double, text, and tape. Text, like I gave 18% tape, and the text save text is 7%, right? Then I need to get the text value from the interface, which is this. I need to get the value the customer entered, right? How to get it? This is method to get that value. Then I need to convert that, because everything you got from the pop-up window is a string. You need to convert to be a double. How to convert? We use a double class path double method, right? Then you can use this result to do the math calculation. Tape is the charge multiplied by tape. Text equals to charge multiplied by text. Total equals to this amount, and the charge, right? The charge, the base charge plus text and tape. Then you need to set this 3 value to be the word, the three labels to a new value with the number. So in other words, I need call each of the label set text method, and I call strings format method to format the amount to be a 2 decimal position value and the total as well. So that's it. That's all of my tip text and total controller Java class. I make sure I save all my file, save it, and I go back to my folder to make sure I have everything, right? Yes, I have everything. Then go back to your scene builder. Two things you have to do. You have to register the controller Java class with your anchor pen. In other words, go to here, hierarchy, click on the anchor pen and make sure this one being highlighted. Then let me see why my window is so big. Screw down, not screw down from here. You need to resize a little bit the window. Let me see how to resize it. That's ugly. Give me a second. What I was looking for is this controller. I need to associate, register my anchor pen with a controller. Do I have any controller class? No, I didn't see any, right? Let me see why it doesn't have any controller associated with me. Oh, okay, I know what's happened, because I'm looking for the class file. I haven't compiled my code yet. I need to have the class file instead of Java file only, right? I need to compile my file. Beautiful, I don't have any error. That's really good. So, but I should have a two class file. Then I go back to the builder. You can see you probably need to you don't need to save it. Probably if you don't save it, you may need to save your file. Now click on here. You should have controller class. Yeah, you have I think you have drop down arrow. Why I still don't have? Let me figure out why I don't still have a. This is good. This is interesting thing. I cannot say that. If that happens, usually you need to quit this one and reopen it again. I realize it happened to me. I'm here. I need to reopen it. So pick up my class file. That's weird. There shouldn't be, right? Whenever my class is there, you should be able to find me. Yeah, now you have it. Choose the second one, the controller class, and register with your anchor pen. And most important, you need to select the on action, the action listener, right? Button. You click on the button, then come here on action. Remember that there should be a listener allow you, because you already registered the class file and they're looking for the class file. You have two methods. One is initialize, one is controller, right? The controller name, you can name whatever name you like, but make it sense. It's a listener class, right? So you register your button with this listener, and don't forget save your scene builder project. Then I think you're ready to run it, right? If I were you, I'm gonna compile the Java again. The start.java, which means I compile all the Java file in my in this folder. Then I run this total. I hope it works. Good. I put 100. Beautiful. That's all for this assignment, right? Let me repeat again. 3 steps. Go to empty folder and create empty new project, scene builder project. Then your control, put all your control here, and make sure the ID is on the code. You see here 3 category, and don't miss the property, right? You click on property, view class, then you go to code, then you see this word fx colon ID. So this is the ID. You set everybody's ID, right? You use the ID from the code side to access this. And in the code side, the first code, every single main application code probably the same, but you load different fxml file. Then this should be your second step. Then the third step is working on your controller, right? The controller, you finish the controller, you back to here to create the class file. Then you back to the scene builder to associate, to register your anchor pane with the controller class. Only when you have the class file, the file name will be displayed here. Then you need to register your button or whatever control with the action on action. What do you want to do? Which listener you want to register to this control, right? Like in this case, I want to calculate button listener associate with my button control. So that's all for this assignment, and thank you for